What's up, everyone? I'll be cleaning my Field 1 Force Cerakote American flag. Played with this a few weeks ago, just haven't had the time to clean it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. I think I mentioned in my last video, I actually have two Forces. One's a Archie edition, and then there's this one. So I use this one because I have the I'm in the Dynasty Champs Club and I have the jersey that they sent for July. So that's the so I did like the whole Merica theme. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Go ahead and take off the eye grip or the eye covers and the grips. It's not that dirty, but I always liked, after a day of play, I like to go through them all and clean them all out of any dirty stuff. Let me go ahead and silence my phone. And let's see. Get these grips off. Give them a little bath in the bowl there. This was the first Field 1 Force that I purchased. I wanted a, like a special anodizing or just something cool, and saw this. I think I got this on Trade My Gun. So shout out to them. Got a decent deal. And I do use the battery and the grip. I was using the AA's, but I figured I'd try this out. Works great. Haven't had a recharge yet, but I haven't also used it a whole lot. But I've heard you get like tons of shots, thousands and thousands of shots before you have to do a new charge. Let's see, go ahead and give the grips a little bath here. Like I said, they're not that dirty, so then we'll go ahead and pull the bolt out. Again, also not that dirty. When I played in Reno, Nevada. There's no real field, mentioned that before. So we just play in like the trees, so I don't get too dirty out there. But I like to wipe off any of the old grease and then just reapply. Usually just do a little inspection, make sure everything looks good. I'll leave that, that's pretty clean already. reapply the grease when I go back to reassemble everything. For the breech, I'll go ahead and get the detents out. But I just run a swab through it, kind of do the little twist on there. Then we'll go fully through. And then the twist on the way out. And I always go back in right here, because you can sometimes get like paint down right past the threads where the barrel butts up against the body in there, just to get all that out of there. There wasn't really anything, but I still like to get all the old grease out and stuff like that. I'll hit the feed neck too. I'm not going to pull any of the regs apart, or the reg, just because there's no issues, and usually I won't do that unless there's an actual issue, so we won't do that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and leave that alone. Then we'll do quick wipe down. Cool. And then I just wipe off all the parts, whether they have something on them or not. I take pretty good care of all my equipment. Spend a lot of money on this stuff. I like to keep it nice. Grab a Q-tip. I just kind of do a little twist in the holes, just get any excess oil, grease, anything out of there. But like I said, I didn't play very long last time I used this, so it's not really that dirty or anything, and so it's more just like a wipe down and reapply grease. Alright, let's get the right side eye back on. The detent. And the eye cover. I like the forces. You know, some people complain the weight. I come from old school paintball days where, you know, aka Vikings, you know, all those old heavy brick guns, they're just super heavy. So this isn't really heavy to me, but I understand compared to some other guns, markers, sorry, we should all be using the term marker to get away from the whole idea of gun, even though, you know, it is still needs to be some form of safety involved. Go ahead and reinstall the eye cover. But yeah, like I was saying, come from the days where, you know, Angels, Vikings, Excaliburs, you know, all those that are real big and heavy, old die matrices, and so, you know, a little extra weight, you know, unless you're just a frail little thing, you're not going to notice the weight. Would it help possibly endurance longer? You know, if you don't have training or anything like that, of course, you know, you'll be able to hold it up longer, you know, post up on someone longer or whatever. But I mean, let's be real, come on, it's not that bad. Any marker on the market now, today's day, come on, they're barely anything compared to the old school days. If anyone's gonna watch this or from the old days, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyone new that doesn't know what I'm talking about, think I'm crazy, whatever, just do a Google search. Go to the Facebook groups and stuff, look at some of the old markers, and you'll see what I'm talking about, sizing and stuff like that. But one of these days I'll pull out my Viking Excalibur and just show like a comparison from kind of a modern age paintball marker to a early to mid 2000s paintball marker. In my last video where I was cleaning my LV2, I mentioned I have like 16 markers. Again, they're all let's see, right, like up in there, a bunch of different marker bags and stuff. But eventually I'll do a video kind of showing all of them, just so everyone can see. But yeah, so that's pretty clean. Down there's clean. Eye covers are clean. So like I said, this wasn't very dirty, so it's a quick wipe down, re-lube, reassemble. I probably use more lube just from you know, taking the bolt out, wiping it off after every play. You know, I could have left it that way and it would have been okay, but like I said before, I'm meticulous with my paintball markers. I like to keep them clean. It's fun to me to take them apart, you know, or at least, you know, clean them up and stuff. So that's what I do. And then I put them back, and then I wait till I play the next time. But we'll go ahead, pop the grip back on. And then, yeah, if anyone has a force, I'd recommend getting the battery here that plugs into the board. Super easy to install. The charge lasts like forever on them. Just nice. I mean, there's really no issue with using the AA's. You know, it's just nice to have multiple options, but I don't know, I just think that's cool. And then like it just uses this little charger, USB charger. I haven't had to charge it yet. I put one in this force, and then like I said, I have the Archie edition, and I put that in there as well. But if anyone knows or whatever, there's let's see if we can get it on camera in here. It's kind of hard. I have my camera on my head, so. But down here, there's this little switch that you just switch back and forth if you want to use the AA's and the foregrip, or if you want to use the little battery here. You just switch that and then just get rolling. But so let's go ahead, get the grips back on. Just make sure to tuck that in there, that wire. Make sure it's not pinching anything. Go ahead and get the grip screws back in. But yeah, like I said, I've been playing a long time. I have shot a lot of different brands, markers, stuff like that of over the decades. I kind of lean more towards Planet Eclipse Egos, so the LV2 is kind of like one of my favorites. I like all my paintball markers. I like to try different ones. Some I don't really care to bother for, like a Lux. Those are really nice and stuff. I It doesn't really, I don't see any, I don't personally have anything that makes me want to be like, oh, I want to shoot that one, you know. I did shoot a GOR5 like 2 weeks ago. That was really nice and smooth. You know, you can kind of tell the difference when, if you're just doing, you know, a couple shots, target practice or something like that, you notice a difference. For me, when I'm playing, I almost never notice the difference between shots or anything unless it's like a real substantial thing. Like I'm more just focused playing, so that kind of thing just breezes over me. But for some people, it's a big deal, and that's fine. Let's see, make sure it still turns on. Yeah, it says LiPo there, so that's what that little switch, dip switch in there does. If you move it up and down, it'll switch from LiPo into from the double A's. So just putting that information out there if anyone has a force or doesn't know much about them or anything, whatever. Like I said, I'm not trying to get crazy or teach anyone, you know, but I'll share the information of what I know and works for me. Alright, so that's all back in there. There's no batteries in here, so we're not going to take those out. At least I don't think there's any battery. We can check, though. I forget. If I can find the... right T-handle here. Yeah, no battery. All right, and then for the bolt here, I just put a little bit of lube on the these O-rings here on the outside. This one, obviously, on the bolt, and then I do take this, unscrew this. And I put a little on here. This already has it, so we'll wipe it off and just put a little more. And then down here, sometimes I'll just Q-tip it. Just wipe off any old excess. And then I have this stuff. It's kind of, let's see if I can get it on camera. Kind of hard to see. Outlast HMP, and then they also make the Outlast premium gun oil. I've been using this blue stuff, man, since I don't know, I was 12. 36 right now, so long time. And then I want to say back in like 2004 or 5, this company came out with a grease, and it's pretty good stuff. I know a lot of people swear by, you know, the Dow 33, Dow 55, all that stuff. I mean, all of them work. It's really just your preference. This is real easy to clean. And it's clear, so you know, you just wipe it off. But really, grease is grease. I prefer not using Dow 33. That's just my opinion on it, is that stuff kind of gunks up over time, you know, gets crusty. But it just depends, you know, like the situation, the plane environment, stuff like that. I live in northern Nevada, so it gets really hot in the summer and really cold in the winter. So this stuff has a really low, like, freezing temperature, to where some lubes will kind of gum up or get hard. So then, you know, when it's really cold, your marker won't fire right, or your velocity will be all over the place. but this seems to be more consistent for the environment that I play in, so I like using this stuff. I have a bigger bottle than this one. I just refill this little guy because it's easier to get into these little parts and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if they still make this stuff, but it's good stuff. But like I said, to each his own. Use whatever lube that works for you. You know, the Field 1 lube that comes with the marker is nice stuff too. So whatever works for you is what works. I just kind of rub it on the part, and then screw that together and pull it out, and then I try to get down on here, like down in here, just a little line, and then we'll just kind of go in there on that. And just kind of rub it in there, and then I do a little drop on here. And it just seems to work for me. I mean, I may tend to once in a while possibly over lube, but it's never been an issue. There was one time I have a MacDev XDR. I was playing a 10-man. It was during the summer, and I kind of under lubed it to where the bolt was. I was getting bolt stick, which sucked. So I just tend to do a little extra here and there. It never hurts what I'm doing. So again, to each his own. You may have a different opinion how you do it. That's cool. This works for me. However it works for you. But you know, I'm just showing you what I do. If you want, you know, you can try this, whatever. If you want to leave a comment, tell me what works for you. You know, I'm down to read whatever and look at any opinions people have that, you know, could help benefit something. So again, I'm just kind of doing these videos and everything for fun. I've been playing a long time, like I said, and I've never really done any video making or anything, or it's always just been hard. You know, you gotta have the cameras, mount them on your mask and barrel and stuff like that. So I finally did that, and now I'm just kind of fine tweaking as I, you know, go out and play and stuff. So eventually I'll have some videos pop up of actual footage and not me just cleaning my markers. So kind of watch for those. I actually have a video from Super Game 2023 that like I need to edit. What took me so long actually for doing any of this is I didn't have a computer that could run well enough to be able to edit videos. I finally was able to purchase that, so now I can start making videos. But yeah, so that's kind of how I lube my bolt, and then just boom, and then make sure it turns on, turn the eyes off. Make sure it clicks, everything's good. And actually, usually what I do is I have the Eclipse muffler. So I always just do a couple shots just to make sure everything's good. And I don't put grease in my rigs just because of the weather. Here in northern Nevada, you know, it's either hot or it's cold or whatever in between. So I like to do oil, which is again the Outlast Premium Gun Oil. It's 100% synthetic, but I like to just put a few drops in the ASA to get into the reg, and then I never have any issues with like velocity or anything like that. So let's see if we can get that. I just do a couple little drops, about 3 little drops, and then when you put the air on there, it just eventually gets up in there and stuff. So I don't do a whole lot. And let's see, I have a tank down here. I just got this tank. It is a Empire 8045, just a standard reg on there. Shout out to bfpgear.com. They're one of our sponsors. So I just picked this up from their store in Sacramento, Sac Paintball store, near Capitol Edge Paintball Park. I was there this last weekend playing. So let's go ahead and test this, because I haven't tested this tank. I always put a little on the O-ring. Screws on nicely. Hopefully no leaks. Probably be pretty embarrassing. There we go. And then we'll turn it on. I just do a couple dry fire shots. I have it in ramping mode 10.2. Yeah, when you turn the eyes off, it's 9.5, but it doesn't even matter. I'll go ahead and take the tank off. I have, I don't know if you can see all that, 4 tanks, purposely. One is a 2R80 45s, another one's an 88 45, and then one's a 68 45, but it has the Ninja Flex regulator to adjust the output pressure. I have my MacDev XDR runs a lot better and smoother with a lower output pressure, and I don't want to mess with the regs and all that stuff. I like simplistic stuff, so I don't want to be taking things apart all the time and readjusting things. So like when I set it and forget it. Once it works, and I leave it and I just maintain it, and everything seems to work for a long time for me. So, but this is a nice regulator. You know, if you want to check that out. And it's the tank's a Dynasty tank, 68 45. What we got? August of 2022, so we got some time on this thing. But yeah, check that out if you like simplistic stuff. Quick, here's the 88 45 First Strike. I got this because when I play in Reno, we have to use scuba tanks for filling them, and it's just easier to have a bigger tank while playing out there. Even though the host always has plenty of scuba tanks to fill up and everything, but I just like to have a bigger tank. Sorry about that. Tank cover's coming off a little bit, so just kind of pull that back on. But yeah, so, and then I have the HK Dynasty cover. The one before was the HK Wanted. And then I have this HK American flag one. Goes well with, obviously, American flag force. And this is again a HK 8045. This one's coming due for hydro 0120, but we're good for now. I like this Exalt fill nipple cover. These are nice. I have the CP one on this one here, but both work fine. Alright, so go ahead and take this off. So marker is lubed up. Shot dry fire nicely. So yeah, that is pretty much how I quickly clean my markers when they're not that dirty. I just do quick wipe down of everything, get any old excess oils and everything off the outside, and then pretty much that's about it. So this is still on, but yeah, so I'll continue to do these videos every time I use a new marker. Well, they're not necessarily new, just a different one every time I play. The next one I have is to be cleaned is a 180R, Plenty Clips G-Tech 180R. It's a custom ano from A&S. It's the Mandalorian edition, the Mando one. So you'll see that in the next video. But yeah, thanks for guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.